So what is up, amigos? Hope you're doing awesome. You know, there are some actors who grow on you gradually, and then there are some who evolve so consistently that one day you just stop and realize they're no longer where they started. Nani belongs to that second category. He began as the relatable boy next door, charming, witty, the kind of guy who could smile through heartbreak or fumble through a romantic mess and still leave you rooting for him. Films like Ashtachamma, Ala Modlendi, Middle Class Abbai, Ninnu Kori, Bhale Bhale Bagadi Hoye, and the more recent Ante Sundaraniki cemented him as Telugu cinema's Mr. Everyday Man. But somewhere along the way, something changed. Whether it was Jersey, Shyam Singh Roy, B, Dasera, or Saripoda Shanivaram, Nani started stepping into darker, grittier, and more emotionally demanding roles. And with Hit, the third case, he doesn't just play a character, he wears the pain, the scars, the chaos, and the rage like a second skin. In fact, there's a moment in the film where Nani's character, SP Arjun Sarkaar, is told during a fight that you won't survive here. And the way Nani responds, not just with a punch, but with an expression that says, I've been told this since I started. In Telugu, he says, "Vachinappudu nunchi ide vintunnanu." It almost feels like a meta moment, a message to every critic and every cynic who doubted him. He's not proving anything anymore, he's just doing what he does best, showing up and delivering. So Hit, the third case, plunges us into the life of SP Arjun Sarkaar, a man transferred from Jammu and Kashmir to the homicide intervention team in Andhra Pradesh, Visakhapatnam. From the very first frame, we sense this isn't just another cop with a badge. Arjun is a man with a storm brewing inside him. He doesn't speak much, but his silence screams louder than most dialogues in commercial thrillers. He has these impulse, rage moments. What begins as a routine investigation soon turns into a sprawling manhunt when a series of disturbing graphic murders emerge, each seemingly unconnected yet carrying a sinister pattern. The victims are not random, they are selected, showcased, and left behind like trophies. As Arjun dives deeper, the case takes him across cities, each destination unraveling a new layer of darkness. The cases takes him to Srinagar, Bihar, Jaipur, Andhra Pradesh, and Arunachal Pradesh. Now, what ties these murders together? Is it a cult, a deranged artist, or something more systemic, buried deeper within? What happens next and how he cracks the case forms the rest of the story. Now, along the way, Arjun battles not just the killer but the ghosts within himself, flashes of personal trauma, professional reputation that's both respected and feared. The film does a decent job of showing how the toll of such cases isn't just physical, it's psychological. The film doesn't throw in unnecessary comedy tracks or subplots, barring some very little romance to establish a chemistry between Srinidhi Shetty and Nani. It stays committed to the thriller tone, and in doing so, it captures the fatigue, the obsession, the numbness, and the coldness of being a crime investigator dealing with monsters hidden in plain sight. Now let's get one thing clear. This film rests entirely on Nani's shoulders, and he doesn't flinch even for a second. He carries this film through slow stretches, through intense monologues, through messy emotional confrontations, and through raw physical action. His portrayal of Arjun is nuanced and controlled. This isn't a loud or hero glorifying role. It's about a man who's always seconds away from boiling over but still chooses to focus on justice. The trauma in his eyes, the calm in his voice, the restrained fury in his fists. It's all Nani. He holds the film when the story falters. He anchors it when the plot stretches. Honestly, it's one of his most solid performances in recent times and a reminder of just how underrated he's been in the mainstream conversation. Srinidhi Shetty has a dignified presence and her chemistry with Nani is gentle but believable. Her role is smaller than it should have been, but she does well within the limited scope she's offered. Now, Prateek Babbar, here's the issue. He's a good actor. We all know that. We've seen what he can do when he's playing roles that tap into his vibe. The posh South Bombay rebel build, the layered romantic, the confused youngster. But here, in Hit 3, he feels out of place. His villain character comes across like a caricature, loud, weirdly theatrical, and almost comic in moments that are supposed to be terrifying. It's disappointing because you know there's talent in him, but this genre, this over-the-top psychotic antagonist space, is clearly not where he fits. It might sound harsh, but maybe he should stick to roles that use his urban persona better rather than forcing him into a template that doesn't suit him. Sailesh Kolanu takes the Hit franchise to a darker, more emotionally bruising space. This film isn't trying to make you cheer, it's trying to make you uneasy, and in that, it succeeds. Each city Arjun travels to, from the chilling streets of Srinagar to murky alleys of Bihar, the urban grit of Andhra to the dry edges of Jaipur, is captured with striking moodiness by Sanu John Varghese. The film looks fantastic. Vicky J. Meyer's background score builds the mood but never overpowers it. It lingers, haunts, and creeps up when needed. Though in some early parts of the film, it feels like the score is holding back a bit, especially in sequences that could have benefited from a heavier audio punch. I really enjoyed the pacing of the first half. It sets things up with urgency, jumps locations without losing rhythm, and keeps you invested with just enough breadcrumbs. But the second half, around the 30 to 40 minute stretch post-intermission, starts dragging. Scenes extend longer than needed, the investigation begins to meander, the emotional depth feels diluted, but once the final act begins and the stakes sharpen, the film finds its footing again. At this point, I would just like to remind the audience that this film is A-rated. So if you're planning to watch this film with your family, be sure to leave your kids behind, because I did see in the theater a lot of people brought family along with the kids and they had to be sent back because it's A-rated. Nobody below 18 years of age would be allowed inside the theaters. So yes, the film is brutal. Yes, some of the scenes are not for the faint-hearted, and yes, many viewers might feel it's a bit much. But here's the thing, as someone who's recently watched action powerhouses like Marco, Kill, and Fateh, I think my expectations have evolved. Those films brought innovation to action, the way fights are choreographed, the rhythm, the shock value, all of it felt fresh. Compared to them, Hit 3 feels slightly traditional. It's not bad, it's not even underwhelming, but I hope for something more unique, more inventive. Maybe it's just me, but when you've seen the bar rise, you can't help but expect every new film to meet or beat it. Now, on a completely personal note, and I know not everyone will care, but if you're into big, rugged vehicles like I am, this film is heaven. Arjun doesn't drive around in polished hybrid SUVs. He roams around the country in monsters. In the snow-covered roads of Srinagar, he rides a Toyota Hilux. Sturdy, reliable, and beastly. In Bihar, he switches to a rugged Mitsubishi Pajero that looks like it's seen some serious chaos. In Jaipur, it's the hardest nails Gurkha, and in Andhra he cruises in a Rubicon Jeep that looks absolutely savage on screen. These aren't just vehicles, they're character extensions, and they define Arjun's rough, unpolished, battle-ready personality, and I absolutely loved how the film used them visually. Now, Hit the Third Case is a well-made crime thriller. It's visually powerful, thematically dark, and anchored by a performance that deserves more applause than it's getting. It falters a bit in its second act, it misfires with its villain, and it occasionally tries to stretch an already grim narrative a bit too far, but what saves it is Nani. Every single scene, every single frame, he's present physically, emotionally, mentally, and that's what makes this film worth watching. If you're someone who enjoys police procedurals or just want to see one of Telugu cinema's finest actors stretch his range even further, then Hit 3 deserves a place on your watch list. So go and watch it in theaters. Do not miss this one. Thank you for watching today. Bye-bye.